Man, guess who's back? I said, guess who's back? What's going on, people? Welcome to Backchat TV. We're going to get straight into this matchup. We've been waiting for this announcement of Tyson Fury fighting Usyk. Tyson Fury kind of was hesitant to really talk about the matchup prior to him fighting his tune-up fight with Derek Chisora. He wanted to get that out of the way first, so we never really heard much. But now we've heard now that it's been signed and that these two are definitely going to get it on and fight, which we're all happy about. You know, boxing fans were very disappointed in this, fake tune-up fight with Derek Chisora. No one wanted to see it. No one was interested. Tyson Fury got quite upset as he normally does. He got quite upset that no one was really backing the fight and really talking about the fight with Derek Chisora, because obviously we said it's not the fight we want to see, and it was a cherry pick. And everyone knew that it was going to turn out exactly the way it turned out. I actually I didn't give Derek Chisora any chance, like most people. Some people said he's got a puncher's chance. I didn't give him a puncher's chance either. Not at all. I haven't seen any considerable power from Derek Chisora. So I knew that, he's not going to outbox Tyson Fury. Everybody knows that. And if he hasn't got power, then he's got zero chance to win. And that was the reason why I wasn't interested in talking about it. He beat Derek Chisora twice when Derek Chisora was younger and fitter. So I don't see how Derek Chisora was going to have any chance being older and less fit. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. But it happened anyway. I'm not going to judge Tyson Fury, because at the end of the day, negotiations with Anthony Joshua didn't work out and he had to fight someone. And also, actually watching him in the ring against Derek Chisora showed me that it probably was the right fight. He actually needed someone who was going to push him, not skill-wise, but, just push his conditioning to get him back in shape, because I didn't think Tyson Fury looked in great shape. He's naturally a person who's got a good gas tank anyway, but he didn't look in great shape. He looked a little bit tired. He looked a little bit lethargic. It wasn't as quick as normal. And I think he knows that he was a little bit out of shape. We all know that Tyson Fury has a tendency to kind of get out of shape in between camps. We also know that Tyson Fury is a person who kind of needs to be motivated to do his best, which is something that I think Alexander Usyk has over Tyson Fury, actually, but we're going to get into that. Tyson Fury is a person who needs to be motivated, and he couldn't get a motivating fight with Anthony Joshua. I don't know whose fault that was. I kind of feel like it was Tyson Fury's fault in a way, because I feel like Anthony Joshua was willing to take the opportunity and fight Tyson Fury, but everything was kind of on Tyson Fury's terms. It was kind of like, sign the contract before a certain date, not taking into any consideration that Anthony Joshua, had just had 2 grueling fight camps and fights with Alexander Usyk, and he didn't care. He wanted him to be ready by November. It wasn't really enough time for Anthony Joshua to be in peak condition, and the fight just didn't get made. I don't know whose fault it was, but like I said, I don't think Anthony Joshua could have got in correct shape for the time frame. I also feel like, Anthony Joshua, although he probably wouldn't be have time to be in the best shape and actually to recover, he still took the fight. I feel like it didn't get made because there was kind of a lack of understanding from Tyson Fury that, it's a legal process. There's a legal process to it. It's not just 2 people agreeing to fight and shaking hands. There's a whole legal team behind it. There's solicitors who have to look at the contract, and they need time as well to go through all the stipulations in a contract, in a typical contract, and what these things mean and what these things imply. And like Anthony Joshua said, it's with the legal team. I can't make that process any quicker. Tyson Fury didn't really seem willing to take that into much consideration. He ended up, throwing his toys out of the pram as he always does, to be honest. And he went ahead with Derek Chisora. Now, I can't say Tyson Fury is in the wrong because I don't know the ins and outs of their negotiation. But, just on a hunch, my opinion, I think Tyson Fury was a bit hasty in kind of throwing this fight in the bin with Anthony Joshua. And it's a shame. Everyone wants to see it, to be honest. Didn't happen. Fair enough. We move on. Tyson Fury didn't look great in the fight with Derek Chisora. When I say he didn't look great, what I mean is if he was in the ring looking like that against Alexander Usyk would have beaten him 100%. That's how I feel. Tyson Fury is going to have to be at his best to beat Alexander Usyk. And I am aware that that is an opinion that, is probably in the minority because most people think Tyson Fury is untouchable and he's unbeatable. But, I've been alive long enough to realise that nobody is unbeatable. I mean, I've seen so many upsets in boxing in general, not just the heavyweight division, to know that every single person is beatable. Most people have only seen, Anthony Joshua losing to Andy Ruiz as, probably the biggest upset. But, if you go all the way back to people who were unbeatable, like Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas comes to mind. I never thought in my wildest dreams that Buster Douglas could beat Mike Tyson. I never thought that Marquez in the welterweight division, Marquez would beat somebody as great as Manny Pacquiao, to be honest. And the list goes on. I never thought that Roy Jones would get knocked out by Tarver, so nobody's unbeatable. That's the point I'm trying to make. Tyson Fury, no matter what people say, he still has to get in the ring with Alexander Usyk and win the fight. Because a lot of people seem to be giving him, the belts already. They're making it out as if Tyson Fury is the best and there's no one out there that can challenge him. And that may well be true. I do have Tyson Fury as being one of the best, if not the best heavyweight in the world. But I think Usyk makes this whole situation extremely interesting. Very interesting. The reason why I say this is because Usyk, to me, has some extremely unique attributes that none of the other heavyweights have. I feel like Anthony Joshua, I would have liked to see how Tyson Fury's skills match up with Anthony Joshua. Even more than that, I would have liked to see the game plan that Tyson Fury would have implemented and how he would have adapted this game plan to beat someone like Anthony Joshua, because the game plan that Tyson Fury used to beat Deontay Wilder is going to be vastly different from a game plan to beat Anthony Joshua. And I just would have loved to see how Tyson Fury would have made that that adaptation. That's one of the reasons why, I think Anthony Joshua, a lot more calculated than Deontay Wilder, a lot more patient. I think he makes a lot less mistakes. I think he's got a back foot game. If Tyson Fury tried to push Anthony Joshua back, Tyson Fury wouldn't be able to use his weight and size advantage on Anthony Joshua in the same way that he used it on Wilder. So that would be different. So many different things. At the same time, I think Tyson Fury I think Anthony Joshua is a little bit gun shy and doesn't throw his hands, doesn't throw his right hand especially as much as Deontay Wilder. So that's the variable there. Deontay Wilder is just not afraid to throw the right hand at all, under any circumstances. And that's really refreshing, but at the same time, it leaves you open to a lot of defensive mistakes. So I would have just loved to see the way Tyson Fury would have matched up against another top heavyweight like Anthony Joshua. We didn't get to see that. But my inclination is that Tyson Fury would have beaten Anthony Joshua anyway. I think he's got more tools. And ultimately, I think he's just got more ways to win. Tyson Fury is very versatile. If he if he can't use his weight and size advantage, he'll do the opposite and outbox you and keep you at the end of his, is it 86, 87 inch arm length or whatever he's got, and he can move as well, keeping you at the end of the jab, moving, tying you up on the inside with his size. It's very difficult to beat Tyson Fury, very difficult. Alexander Usyk poses a lot of different problems. Like I said, I feel like even just forget about the physicality, the mental difference. I think Alexander Usyk is extremely mentally tough. I haven't seen any fragility in Usyk's mindset at all. Nothing. He's had, he's rumoured to have had 300 or more amateur fights. He beat Beterbiev as well. When Beterbiev fought heavyweight in amateur fight, which I actually watched that fight, and he kind of just outboxed him, and since then he went on to dominate the cruiserweight division, came up from cruiserweight, beat some heavyweights before fighting Chisora, and then beat the number one at the time, Anthony Joshua, twice. Anthony Joshua actually fought a really good fight, the second fight, despite what a lot of people say. And Alexander Usyk still handled him pretty easily. We did see an example of what the size difference would mean when Anthony Joshua got serious in the 9th round. And we did see that difference. And when Anthony Joshua did connect, we did see more damage done to Usyk. So we saw the potential of what a size difference would make. And obviously, that's one of the attributes that Tyson Fury would have. That's what a lot of people... I think that's the main reason why a lot of people are just not really considering Usyk being able to beat Tyson Fury, just because of the size difference. But I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people at all. I think that this is going to be the first time Tyson Fury is fighting a guy who has similar attributes. Like I said, mentally tough, but physically, I feel like speed. I think Tyson Fury and Usyk, there's not going to be... Tyson Fury's not going to be faster than Usyk when it comes to hand speed. There is going to be a significant difference in speed because, like I said, Usyk has come up from cruiserweight, and cruiserweights are always faster, quicker, and they cause, bigger men some problems. We saw Tyson Fury have a problem with Cunningham, who was a smaller cruiserweight. And we saw what happened there. We saw what happened when, David Haye fought Bellew, coming up from cruiserweight. Again, that speed. The speed kills. So that's going to be a big difference. The hand speed, the foot speed. Usyk is in and out. Very disciplined. Great defense. He has a back foot game. Tyson Fury cannot get sloppy and come forward with shots like he did with Deontay Wilder. Usyk will definitely make him pay. Tyson Fury could come forward and try and use his size difference to maul Usyk, but I think he's too experienced, and I think he would, get out of the way. Usyk is quick at slipping punches and countering, even though he's got a smaller arm reach, but he knows how to calculate distance and ring generalship. Another big thing is that Usyk is not going to get tired. Tyson Fury has always fought these heavyweights. He knows that he has superior conditioning over people like Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, and Derek Chisora certainly, and Dillian Whyte. He has better conditioning than these people. He's not going to have better conditioning than Alexander Usyk. I'll tell you why. Tyson Fury has a issue with kind of getting out of shape in between camps. Alexander Usyk doesn't do that. He keeps in shape in the gym all the time. He's never tired. He's the ultimate professional. He's got amazing skills, probably a wider skill set than Tyson Fury, to be honest. Although they say he doesn't have, power, I don't think that's true either. I think he's just got some amazing attributes which are being overlooked. And he has attributes that are very different to what Tyson Fury has seen in the past. So for that reason, I'm actually going to pick Usyk to beat Tyson Fury. Now, that's a big statement. That's my prediction. You know, I wouldn't put my house on it or anything like that. I do think Tyson Fury is probably one of the best, if not the best. But I want to see how he does against adversity. And this is going to be the ultimate adversity in the ring. You know, I have seen a lot of mental fragility from Tyson Fury, like I said before. And it seems to be when things are not going his way, he tends to get frustrated, and he's I just think he's mentally not as strong as Usyk. On the other hand, he's shown a lot of mental toughness in his fights. He faced a lot of adversity against Otto Wallin when he got cut, and he pushed the fight more. He faced adversity against Deontay Wilder when he got kind of knocked out almost, and he got up and he went on to win the round in their first fight. So I do think Tyson Fury is mentally tough, but there's just a few cracks in his psyche which I don't see in Usyk, and I want to see how he deals with that. Similarly, I want to see how Usyk deals with a bigger man coming forward with heavy shots and leaning on him, and I want to see how Usyk deals with that. But I kind of feel like the difference is we've kind of seen how Usyk deals with size. You know, he dealt with a natural heavyweight in Derek Chisora just fine. He dealt with a natural heavyweight in Anthony Joshua with skills just fine. So, you know, I think he's actually the more proven fighter, Usyk. And so for that reason, I'm going to tip Usyk for the upset against Tyson Fury. Let me know what you think. I don't want to make this video too much longer. Let me know what you think about this fight. I can guess that most people are going to say that the sheer size of Tyson Fury is going to be the biggest deciding factor. But, you know, we'll have to see. Let me know what you think. How much of a chance do you give Usyk percentage-wise? I hesitate a little bit to speculate if Alexander Usyk could beat Deontay Wilder. And the reason why I hesitate with that fight is because of the kind of... Deontay Wilder is extremely unpredictable. So it's very hard to say who would beat him and who he would beat. It all depends on if whoever Deontay Wilder fights, it depends if they can take his right hand. You know, if Usyk, because Wilder's very quick and he's not afraid to throw the right hand because he's not afraid of getting countered. You know, and that unpredictability makes him dangerous. He doesn't care. You know, he will throw the right hand in the fight. And something that, you know, Anthony Joshua is more hesitant to do. So it's more easy to predict if you think Anthony Joshua would win a fight or lose a fight. Whereas Deontay Wilder, it just depends on if Wilder can land his right hand. If Wilder was to shoot his right hand against Usyk, and Usyk was able to slip his right hand or get distance so that Wilder couldn't find his range with his right hand, then Usyk wins. Simple as that. There's no other tools that Wilder really has that could exploit Usyk's skill set apart from the right hand, which can put anyone out of commission. So, I mean, that was just kind of a side note to the main fight. Deontay Wilder being, you know, an unpredictable spanner in the works. I've heard a lot of people say that Deontay Wilder would beat Usyk, but the reason why I made that point is because you can't really assess Deontay Wilder skill. You can't assess his skill set against somebody else because he's so unpredictable. But I mean, if Usyk turned out to be a fighter who could take Deontay Wilder's power or could get out of the way of Deontay Wilder's power, then I would back Usyk all the way to beat Deontay Wilder pretty easily. To see what I mean? So it's hard to predict with Wilder, but I digress. All these fights are possible. It's possible that we'll see all these fights happen at some point. Now that we have Wilder back in the frame, we've got talks of Anthony Joshua coming back in January. I'm not sure if he's going to come back in January. I'm just not sure. But We've got talks that actually Joshua's going to come back against someone in January. I think the fight that is being made, you know, behind the scenes is probably Wilder Joshua, which is extremely exciting. We've got Joe Joyce in the mix. And of course, we've got Tyson Fury himself saying that he wants to be active and he now wants to continue fighting and postpone his retirement. So it's only good things we've got in the heavyweight division. Let me know what you think. I've spoken long enough. What do you think about Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk? Do you disagree with me? I believe that Usyk is going to win this fight, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of people that disagree with that. I'll be more surprised if I see any comments that agree with me, to be honest, on this one. But you know, I love to make my controversial predictions. Let me know how you feel about it. Who do you think is the best in the world? Maybe let me know who you think is your top 4, top 5. And yeah, that'd be interesting to see as well. I'm on to the next one for now. Man, guess who's back? I said, guess who's back? If you enjoyed the video today, comment, like, share, criticize, anything at all. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. And of course, as always, don't forget, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.